Before I give you these weekly updates, allow me to first take this moment to share with you the information about the passing of our retired Assistant Commissioner of Police, Sam Omala, who passed on today morning. We wish him eternal repose. He was a gallant officer who served this country with dedication and retired honorably. May his soul rest in peace. We have information we wanted to pass on. As you are all aware, we are carrying out a recruitment exercise of police wants 10,000 probationer police constables, and the exercise has been going on. So today the interviews are on, and they will continue up to 4th May. Now, the reason why I've brought it here, there are certain implications in this exercise which we feel we should share with the public out there. First and foremost is based on our previous experience, we get situations where candidates or applicants tender in forged academic documents. Previously, you recall, we made some arrests because they take risks thinking that they will not be detected. Now this one is an early call that you tender in a forged academic document, you will be apprehended and you will be prosecuted. Some have a tendency of going to Nasa Road. Now this time around, that one will attract punishment. We also want this time round to be very, very categorical that we called for those who have senior 4 papers. Now, previously, what has been going on is that we request for senior 4, and somebody presents senior 4 and hides senior 6. Sometimes we have even been having graduates, sometimes even those with postgraduate qualifications like masters. And this time we are saying we shall verify. If you are overqualified, we shall disqualify you. Because we have been having challenges with this kind of overqualified candidates. They give us a lot of headache when it comes to staff retention. So we are warning you in time. Of course, if you have qualifications above those we have requested, you are in the system, so we shall detect you. So this one is an early warning. We have also been registering situations where you find people sharing academic documents. You hear somebody saying that he used his brother's papers. Now that one is prohibited, but it is also criminal. And this is an early call. As police, we also want to share this advice. If you know you have underlying medical conditions, please, we advise you not to participate in this exercise. Not only just the recruitment exercise, you need to take note that when you qualify, we subject you to military training. Now, this training involves a set of exercises which can be inconveniencing to people with underlying medical conditions. Find somebody has heart problems and wants to undergo military training. It's not advisable. And this applies also to expectant mothers. Somebody who is pregnant is not advised to go for military training. There are so many underlying medical conditions. There are doctors or medical personnel who are attached to this recruitment exercise. So for all the 21 recruitment centers, these people or the medics will be there to advise the applicants. Lastly, there are those with criminal records. There are those with criminal records. We have been very clear in our advert that if you have a criminal record, please don't come. Now, there are those who are even very daring. They have just recently, you will find those who have just recently left prison coming to join. They are deserters. You find somebody deserted in the army, deserted in the prison service, or deserted from public service. He's on the wanted list of deserters, and now he's applying to enter Uganda Police Force. All those we usually net them. So the whole picture I'm trying to draw here is that you need to come with clean hands, and you need to have the right medical record for you to join us. The other issue I wish to share with our listeners and viewers is an internal process. If you are not aware, the information is that the Inspector General of Police has done some streamlining in the operation of the Land Protection Unit. This unit is very key in land matters that are brought to police. Initially, this unit has been under the supervision of the Criminal Investigations Directorate, but currently it is now under the Directorate of Human Rights and Legal Services. And the Inspector General of Police has appointed the Commissioner of Police, James Kusemererwa, as its head, and he will be deputized by Assistant Commissioner of Police, Musani Sabila. The restructuring, and why I'm emphatic about it, is to enhance its capacity to address legal, operational, and criminal aspects of land-related conflicts, recognizing that most land disputes involve both civil and criminal elements. This unit is very key in police operations, and you will agree with me that one of the busiest activities, or I mean the busiest units we have in police is the Land Protection Unit. Land conflicts are really so many, and they cut across a number of issues. They bring in domestic violence. Sometimes you find that land conflicts are civil in nature, but graduating into criminal conflicts or criminal incidents. Now, that's why the IGP found it necessary to place it in the hands of or under the supervision of the Directorate of Legal Affairs, so that the matters therein are handled legalistically and holistically, maybe, if I was to put it right. A matter comes, if it has civil components, the legal officers handle it. If there are criminal issues, the crimes are handled holistically by this unit. Initially, it has been moving. You find there is a court order. That court order is cleared by the Directorate of Legal Affairs. There are criminal matters. You find the criminal matters are handled by CID. There are operational issues. You find that the orders are coming from the Directorate of Operations. So in lieu of all that, the Inspector General of Police found it necessary to empower the commissioner or the commandant in charge to take full control and full command of all these issues in a holistic manner. So from today onwards, this is the subsisting situation, and we hope for the best, cognizant of the fact that land matters are really very touchy, they are voluminous, they are at the center of the issues we receive at police stations, and we receive generally as the police force. The other issue I wish also to throw light and clarity on issues I want to share about our special police constables. Take note that we are currently reviewing the deployment of SPCs nationwide. So the information we need to share with you is that SPCs are police officers on contract terms. Usually we give them contracts of around 2 years. It can even be 1 year, depending on the need we have for them. So of recent, we are carrying out reviews. Management recently came up with an idea that we retain some, and those we feel we do not have business with, we disengage. So that process is under review, and but a number of them have good use, and their contracts are under review, and we shall continue engaging them as appropriate. So I wanted to make that also clear. Finally, I would like to share with you one operational incident. The rest of the operational incidents, especially around the Kampala metropolitan area, I think Luke will share with you. But this was upcountry in Noya district. So on the 26th April, police in Noya received a report from Langere parish community about a suspected illegal firearm, which was believed to have come from Kotito district. The firearm is reported to have been sold to one of our suspects at a price of 500,000. Our DPC and team responded to the community's intelligence tip and apprehended the 6 suspects. The main suspect being Ojo Calvin, whom we have in our custody. We managed also to discover the firearm, which he had hidden in a grass-thatched house in Pakawera village, Langere parish, Lee sub-county in Noya district. We recovered it with 6 rounds of ammunition, and we have since apprehended a number of suspects. Actually, there are 9 in number, and investigations are going on. We shall share with you the photos as we have them. I can give you the Luganda version. Yes. Yes, please.
Yesterday we issued a statement regarding the organized youth protest.
Q and A. when the question and answer session comes in, ask me that, sir. So twagala okubatuusaako obubaka buno nga obusooka bukwata ku recruitment exercise yaffe egenda mu maaso. Nga bwe mumanyi nti poliisi tuli ku recruitinga ba PPCs oba ba probational police constables omutwalo gumu. Bwe twasunsulamu juzi ne tusigaza gumu kakaaga, era bano nabo tugenda kubasunsulamu tusigaze omutwalo gumu ogunaagenda ku training. Naye recruitment eno waliwo obubaka kubanga tumanyi abamu batuwuliriza, abalala abooluganda baabo ba candidates, abalala bazadde baabwe, abalala baliba nabo bajja mu recruitment exercise endala eziriba zijja mu maaso awo. So buno obubaka bukulu nnyo. Ekisooka tutera okufuna ekizibu oba okusoomozebwa. Ba candidates abamu batera okujja ne ebipapula ebijingirire. Bagenda wali ku Nasa Road n'alowooza nti engeri gye bali omutwalo gumu bw'ajingirira ajja kuyitawo. Now twagala usual okubalabula nti ne luli bwe twakola recruitment ey'aba PPCs bano be tuli okumpi okufulumya, twafunayo ko abamu era twabakwata ne tubatwala mu mbuga z'amateeka. Era zijjukira najja wano ne mbabuulira nti baasuze mu kadduukulu e Masindi. Kati era ne kati twagala okulabula nti abamu bwe bateegendereza, bwe tunaakola verification ne tusanga nga waliwo abayita ku Nasa Road, tujja kubakwata era nabo tubatwale mu mbuga z'amateeka. Then this time round tuli very strict nti twagala qualifications za senior 4. Now bw'oba nga gwe wasoma okusingako senior 4 tetukkiriza bipapula byo. Tetukukiriza. So usually kaba candidates kye bakola akweka zino empapula endala, diploma, senior 6, university. Waliwo ku university waliwo ne bwe osanga ng'oli ayina masters. Usually batutawaanya nnyo aba yaakayingira bw'ati bwe tumala omupassing out ng'atandika bebo bwe muwulira nti twamusindika twamudeployinga let's say Masindi, naye ali ku university asoma. Obudde bwe bwonna abumalira mu kukola coursework, ate nga ffe emirimu gyaffe mirimu mingi. Omupoliisi tuba tukwagala ku duty almost buli kadakiika. So n'osanga asoma ate nga yalibadde aweereza. Bwe tuba twagala ogenda okusoma, poliisi tulina engeri gye tutegekeramu abakozi baffe okuddayo okweyongera okukola ki? Okusoma. Tutera okubafunira bursaries. Then waliwo ne courses ezimu ezijjirako package yaki y'okugenda okusoma. Nange nze na benefitinga emisomo Makerere University nga poliisi yekoze eki? Yesasudde. So waliwo entegeka eyo. Naye bino ebyokujja ng'okwesa empapula enkya bwe tuba tumaze okuwa omulimu, ate obudde obusinga bwonna n'obumalira mu kugenda okusoma, awo poliisi eba tekiraba bulungi. Then waliyo ne cases endala ze tutera okuregisteringa nga oli akozeseza ebipapula bya muganda we. So ekyo nakyo tukivumirira, ate twagala always n'okuba remindinga nti awo oba omenye etteeka. Actually mwembi tubakwata. Oli awaddeyo ebipapula bye babikozese, naawe abikozeseza, mwena musobola okukwatibwa. Then waliwo ne issue endala waliwo abantu abamu bosanga nga bayina endwadde ezitabakiriza kukola ki gundi kuyingira mu bitongole nga poliisi oba amagye. Mulina okujjukira nti poliisi bw'omala okuba shortlisted tukutwala ku training erimu exercises oba mubita duyiro. So waliwo abantu abamu nga balina endwadde ng'emitima nga bali badde tebakola exercises ezo ezirimuuko okukozesa amaanyi, so batuuka eyo oluusi ne bafuna obuzibu. So bw'obanga omanyi nti olina obulwadde ng'obwo, usually tuba tukusaba ogezeeko okulaba nti weewala training oweewala okuyingira ekitongole kya poliisi. Then waliwo abalala nga abakyala abalina embuto, pregnant women, nabo usually tuba tubasaba nti mwewale okuyingira mu kitongole kyaffe kya poliisi. Finally beebo ababeera ne rekodi ey'obumenyi bw'amateeka. Osanga oli nga bamuconvicting okukwata omwana, ayina criminal record, mubbi, bamuconvictinga mu gundi y'obubbi. Actually waliwo abamu betutera n'okukwatira eyo nga yali yeekwese naye engeri gyazze, kubanga tukola gundi tuba testinga, tujja n'ebyuma byaffe, so bwe tukukwata ne tutegeera nti olina criminal record okusinziira ku gundi ki, then tulina engeri gye tukuyisaamu. Naye nga bw'oba omanyi nti olina criminal record tojja. Yes, so byebyo bikwatagana ne recruitment. Issue endala gye njagala okusharingako nammwe yeya ekwatagana ne ekitongole kyaffe mu poliisi kye bayita ekya Land Protection Police Unit. Kino ekitongole IGP yakozeemu kye twaliise mu luzungu streamlining oba okukigumiza. Unit eno ebadde egwanga wansi wa directorate ya CID, naye IGP yagijjeeyo n'agiteeka wansi wa directorate ya Legal Services ne Human Rights. Nga ekigendererwa is that ebintu ebikwatagana n'ebyamateeka, ebyamataka, birimu ebyamateeka bingi, era bwe muba mubadde mugobereranga ojja kusanga nti enkaayana z'ettaka waliwo bw'owulira nti enkaayana eyo yeetaaga okugenda mu civil courts, naye okutegeera nti egenda mu civil courts eba yeetaaga interpretation y'omukugu ayina obukugu mu mateeka. N'osanga nti conflict eyo ey'amataka erimu court order. Court order yeetaaga clearance ab'amateeka ab'omu poliisi. Era kyova olaba mubadde muleetanga court order zammwe ne muzireeta wano mu Directorate ya Legal Affairs oba Legal Services so that baziclearinge bannamateeka baffe aba poliisi. So IGP mu kulaba ebyo byonna n'asalawo activities ezo zonna baziteeke wansi w'omuntu omu, ate nga yakwasaganya ebyo byonna. N'okwongerako waliwo bw'obadde osanga nti bwe bamala okuclearinga court orders ezo ate bazizza mu operations, because ba RPCs ba DPCs bagwa mu operations. So wabaddengawo engendo mpanvu mu luzungu, so kye tuyise streamlining or synergizing that effort. So IGP ya alonze commissioner wa police we bayita James Kusemererwa, era yajja okuba nga akulira Land Protection Unit eno, nga deputy we ajja kuba Assistant Commissioner of Police Musani Sabila. Ono Commissioner of Police James Kusemererwa munamateeka era ali mu Directorate ya Legal Services mwakwasiza emirimu gye, era twagala okubamanyisa so that mube nga mukimanyiiko, kubanga enkayana z'amataka zo nnyingi era zitu keepinga busy nnyo ffe ng'abapoliisi. Ekintu ekirala kye mbadde njagala okuwaako information abantu abali eyo bakimanye is that mukimanyi nti tuyina ba SPCs oba Special Police Constables mu kitongole kya poliisi. Mu maaso awo tubadde tugezako okureviewinga enkolegana yaffe nabo, nga abamu tubasigaza ng'ate abalala be tutasobola kusigaza mu luzungu kye tuyita disengagement oba contracts zaabwe tetuzirenewinga. SPC atambulira ku contract era usually tubadde tubawa contracts za mwaka, myaka ebiri, bwe tusanga nga tuba tukyamwetaaga nga contract tugirenewinga. Bwe tusanga nga tetumwetaaga services ze nga contract tuba tetugenda girenewinga. Era nakati waliyo abamu betukyayetaaga era abo tujja kuba tubasigaza, naye abo betunasanga nga tetukyayina kyamaanyi kye tubeetaaza tujja kuba tufuna engeri mu luzungu bagiyita disengagement, okubasiibula. Then ekisembayo kiri operational, ebirala ebikwatagana ne operations mu Kampala Metropolitan zo Luke ajja kuzibawa, naye nja kuba sharingirako ne information ebadde eva eyo mu Noya, district ya Noya. Noya twarecoverinzeeyo emundu zino manyi muyiwira bulizi nti mundu naye bwemala okucrossinga negenda mu mikono gy'omuntu omukyamu usually abantu tebeebaka. So waliwo emundu gye twafunye okuva mu Langere Parish Pakawera Village mu Noya district. Omwami omu we bayita Ojok Calvin yagula emundu $50,000. Waliyo omuntu era tumunoonya mu kotide eyo, bwe yagireeta n'agitereka mu nju ye mu ceiling, era n'ebifaananyi tujja kubisharinga nammwe. Era bwe twafuna intelligence nti waliwo emundu gye baali bakwese, twafollowing up immediately era twasobodde okukwatayo n'abantu 8 nga tubayina, actually bantu 9 nga tubayina nga beekwasisa ku mundu eyo, nga n'okunoonyereza bwe kukyagenda maaso. Ebifaananyi weebiri tujja kuba tusharinga nammwe. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Now twagala n'okubatuusaako amawulire agatali malungi. Omusirikale waffe yawummula, Assistant Commissioner of Police Sam Omala, leero ku makya bwe yavudde mu bulamu bw'ensi eno, abadde ayina ekirwadde ekibadde kimusumbuwa. So mwena mujja kumujjukira nti yaritayaringa mu police era nga abadde yasavinga obudde buwanvu era nga yabusavinga n'aweereza eggwanga lye, n'aritayaringa bulungi, era tumusabira awumule mirembe. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Enteekateeka of course ejja kubaawo, naye at the moment maybe bwe tunamala okukwatagana ne famire ye na buli kimu tujja kuba maybe tubategeeza ebinaddako mu maaso awo. Ndugu omala nange nze kanakolako naye, yaliko mukama wange, naliko DPC wa Old Kampala, nga omala yali operations commander nga atuula ku kitebe kya region eya Kampala Metropolitan North. Ebisinga poliisi ejja kuvaayo mu butongole ebyogereko, naye nze of course ng'omwogezi ate ng'omuntu eyakolako naye, mumanyi ng'omuntu eyali omuggumirivu ku mulimu gwe, mu luzungu kye twaliyise brave and astute. Ate yakola omulimu gwe n'agukola bulungi, n'atuukiriza omulimu gwe in line with the assignments nga bwe baali bazimuwa. N'ekintu ekirala of course kinali mumanyiiko, yali muntu w'abantu era nga kizibu nnyo okufuna obusungu mw'omala nga yeewa abantu, era kyova olaba abantu abasinga baadde bamumanyi. Abadde muntu w'abantu era kyenzija okwogera. Ate ekirala abadde na family man, abadde ayagala nnyo eggwanga lye, he was a patriot. So era tujja kumusubwa. Abantu bangi baadde bankubira amasimu leero nejjo, era ago amasimu galaga nti abantu babadde bamufaako nnyo, era kyenjagala ekitono okugamba nti may his soul rest in eternal peace. So okay, yes, I would like to say that today morning we registered the news or sad news of the untimely demise of a retired Commissioner of Police, Sam Omala. Sam Omala, most of you knew him. He retired at the rank of Assistant Commissioner. He's one officer who served diligently. He served with dedication. At a personal level, I worked with him. He was my superior. I was a DPC Old Kampala when he was the operations commander at Kampala Metropolitan North. But all those who have served under him and served with him have found him to be an astute and a decisive officer, very professional and dedicated. And you see, with the public service, when you serve and you come out of service intact, without a charge, without an accusation of professional impropriety, it is worth standing straight and feeling proud about it. And so was Sam. Sam served all his years and came out with a clean service record. And I know his children will be proud of that. So we wish him a quiet repose. May his soul rest in peace. Yes, tuwulirize ebibuuzo. Yes. Eh, eh, mm, mm. Okay. Byebyo. Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, SSP ayimbisibwe. Mm. Okay. Mm. Mm. Okay. Yes.
And you talked about the concepts of police constables. Usually, as we are approaching elections and being following the trend, police usually put these police constables. I'm wondering if do you have an intent of also preparing these people in the forthcoming election? If yes, how many do you need in the forthcoming 2026 elections?
Okay.
And then, are we going to expect to have an officer or a lawyer, expert in law, to be in all police stations to answer issues of law, issues of land?
Okay. Okay, I can answer those.
Also, we had reports about abduction of the Democrats.
But somebody has asked about it. Okay, can proceed? I think I will begin with the English version. Somebody asked about the police press release last evening about the curtailment of a certain exercise by NOP. NOP was intending today to launch or what they dubbed a protest vote launch. And the police is in disagreement with it. And because we are in disagreement, police has taken a decision not to allow it to take place in the interest of public order. So that is the position of Uganda Police Force. There are always avenues of engagement. The parties, political parties of Uganda, when they have any issues of that nature, are usually advised to reach out to the agencies that take those kind of particular decisions and engage. Yes, that's the position of Uganda Police Force, and I think I have articulated it. There is someone who has asked about Eddie Mutwe. I also heard about it, that Eddie Mutwe had been arrested. I have not yet been briefed about the details of his arrest. So I am not in a position to tell you about the arrest, where he's detained, and the charges brought against him at the moment. If I get this information, I will share it. The third issue is about somebody has asked me about the investigations into the death of SSP Ahimbisibwe Julius. Yeah, Ahimbisibwe Julius, you recall, news that he had passed on in what was alleged to be a suicide. The investigations are still going on, yes, because We did a postmortem, and also did the toxicological tests. I have not yet privy to the outcomes of the toxicological tests. I am only privy to the postmortem, which I am aware that all signs lead more towards suicide. But beyond suicide, we are interested into other secondary issues around his death, which I would be a little more comfortable to share with you as soon as the details are released by the investigating officers of CID. Then somebody asked about the SPCs, that how many are you disengaging? What are the numbers? I don't have the numbers. I only have the issues. The issue is that we are engaging or re-engaging some and disengaging others. Why? Because their contracts are always reviewed on the basis of need. By the way, let me be categorical. Either party can disengage, can walk out of this marriage. Even an SPC in this contract can walk out. There are avenues and windows open for disengagement. We also, as Uganda Police Force, reserve, or we have leg room to engage them or disengage them. So this time around, we are going to engage those whom we feel their services are still needed. We are going to disengage those. Like for instance, if an SPC has clocked an age where he can no longer serve as an SPC, we may find it inappropriate to continue engaging him. You must recall that SPCs some have limitations in terms of academic qualifications. So you find a primary 7 leaver who has clocked 60 years. We can't re-engage him. Sometimes we can even disengage you at the age of 55, where we feel you can no longer take on physical responsibilities, but we would have given you administrative responsibilities, but probably you are limited by your administrative capabilities. So that one, I'm just giving you a hypothetical picture where we may or may not engage your services. In respect to numbers, I may not be at the moment privileged to give you that information. Before I jump to other issues, there is somebody still who asked about the SPCs and says that these SPCs, when it comes to election period, we see you engage many more. I think that is one of the reasons why you see us increasing our number by 10,000. You see, we are recruiting PPCs, 10,000 of them. You will also recall that there are also those who are recruited, but these ones are called the polling constables. And I think these ones fall mainly under the control of the Electoral Commission. On a whole, when we are going to have elections, we usually heighten the number of officers who are going to police the elections. And certainly that will happen. But now these are SPCs who have been with the Uganda Police Force for quite some time. Yes, and the situation is quite different in this particular situation. So, but when the elections are getting closer, you will be seeing us and the Electoral Commission engage polling constables. Somebody has also asked about my colleague there, that do you need lawyers at every station? No. But what police has devised is we have lawyers at every region. Every police region in Uganda has a lawyer to help in dissecting legal issues and to give appropriate legal advice to commanders whenever need arises. Let me hope you are not asking this in line with the streamlining of the unit. Is it?
Usually, officers used to report all those cases and in fact investigate them. Are you going to have a person attached to the unit on each police station?
No. When you are investigating a land matter, okay, all investigations are legal in nature. Maybe let me make that clarification, because I hope you will recall that we are a law enforcement body. In other words, we enforce the laws of Uganda. So in other words, or inadvertently, all the issues we handle are legal in nature. But what happens is that in the course of our execution of duties, there are matters that arise that require legal interpretation or some kind of legal advice. Now, we place legal officers at our regions to particularly help us in those particular aspects that arise. It may even not be particularly a land matter. At times, they are operational matters. At times, there are even issues pertaining administration. It can even be a trial of an officer within our disciplinary structures. So you find that time and again, there is legal advice that is sought intra-police or within the running of police activities. So these officers are placed at regional level. When the matter goes beyond his management, the matter is referred to the director or to the Directorate of Legal Services. Yes. But this particular unit has been streamlined to particularly interfere and knock out to red tape, where you find you run to Chibuli, then you come from Chibuli, you come to police headquarters to have a court order cleared, then you go. So all that can be handled at a one-stop center, where one person can give legal advice, can give execution orders, can give in other words, can make determination on an issue, can interpret as to whether this is a civil or criminal matter, and all those other matters incidental to land conflicts and disputes. I guess I'm clear. Yes, please. Or, pardon? Oh, now that one, I think I will communicate later after talking to the Directorate. At the moment, I needed to give you that communication from police. Same issues zonando. Kati esooka waliwo mbuuziza ku ekiwandiiko kye twayisiza ekikwatagana ne gye twaziyiza entegeka nuupu ze yabadde etegese leero ez'okulonkinga kye baayise protest vote. Poliisi tekkiriziganya ne protest vote eyo launch, era mu butakkiriziganya obwo poliisi esazeewo neziyiza eyo launch ebadde egenda okubaawo leero. naye usually tutera okuwa advice nti bweba nga waliwo obutakanya ng'obwo musobola okutuukirira police then ne mwogera mu nsonga ezo. Naye at the moment njagala kubatuusaako amawulire nti kyekyo kyekiriwo. That is the subsisting position. Waliwo nambuuzizaako nti ebya Eddi Mutwe bituuseewa. Eddi Mutwe nawuliddeko nti yakwatiddwa naye sinaba kufuna briefing yonna okuva mu kitongole kya police empa okuwabulwa ku ani amuyina musango ki aliwa. So siyinza kukiwaako statement yonna nga sinaba kufuna information eyo. So information sigiina, so siyinza kugyogerako kinene. Waliwo ne ambuuzizza ku kufa kw'omusirikale waffe senior superintendent of police Ahimbisibwe Julius. Ahimbisibwe Julius nga mwennawe mwafuna amawulire okufa kwe waliwo okunoonyerezebwa okwagenda mu maaso, naye kyenafunako kyokka ye information eyali eva mu postmortem egamba nti buli kimu kiraga kiteeberezebwa nga kigenda kipointinga ku kuba nti ayinza okuba yeetuga oba kwewanika. Naye twakola tests za mirundi ebiri. Waliwo eyo postmortem, then waliwo neze tuyita toxicological tests. Toxicological tukola tests maybe nga ne tujjayo materials mu lubuto walidde ki ekiri mu musaayi gwokye ebintu ng'ebyo. So okunoonyereza kukyagenda mu maaso. So at the moment njagala okubategeeza nti tujja kuba tukyakwatiridde awo nga bwe tulinda information. Naye just mumanye nti ba SPCs tujja kusigazaako abamu, then also tujja waliyo n'abamu be tujja okuba nga tudisengeginga kubanga nga services zaabwe tetukyazeetaaga. Era nga bwe mumanyi SPC aweebwa contract ebanga kukiriziganya, ayinza okufuluma n'asalawo nti ye akooye, naffe tuyinza okumukoowa. Era bwe tukukoowa tulinda obudde bwo we buggweerayo, then ne tuba nga tetukuwa contract ndala. Then omulala n'agamba naye nga ate mu elections mujja kuba mubeetaaga bangi. Yes, ojja kusanga nga mu elections tubeetaaga, naye ate gwe nga tetukwetaaga kubanga ng'ebisaanyizo bye twagala gwe tobiyina. Oluusi emyaka tegikukolera, waliwo oluusi bw'osanga nga rekodi yo of service naye webadde teri nnungi. So usually biba bintu bingi. Naye ate n'ekirala temubawabya ne betuyita polling constables. Waliwo bano beturecruitinga usually ne electoral commission nga bo ogwabwe gwa kukuuma kalulu abo balala. Then waliwo n'abalala kati turecruitinga police probationers or probational police constables, ba PPC ogwo omutwalo gwe nayogeddeko. Abo bo bagenda kuba permanent mu police. Abo bajja kuba nga contracts zaabwe ziri permanent. Era nabo engeri gye tuba recruitinze bagenda kwongera numbers nyingi ku poliisi yaffe. Waliwo ekisembayo ye ayogedde ku kya ambuuziza nti banaye munaateeka lawyer buli ku police station ne police post. Nedda. Naye just kyeweetaaga okumanya tuyina lawyer buli ku region ya police. Tuyina regions 29 era buli region bw'ogigendako ojja kusanga tuyinayo lawyer omukugu ayamba poliisi yaffe mu bintu ebyamateeka. Of course kyolina okumanya is that enkola ya police, buli kintu kye tukola mu police kiba kiyina engeri gye kyekwasaganyizaamu ne amateeka, kubanga tuba tukwasaganya oba tukwasisa mateeka. Naye bwe tuba tutambuza emirimu egyo waliwo bw'osanga nga twetaagamu interpretation, okutaputa. So awo lawyer watuyambira. Ate ebintu bingi ebitera okujjamu okutaputa okwo, ebimu biba na byaffe eby'omunda. Kati nga for example muyinza okuba muyina ng'abapoliisi be mututte mu kooti yammwe disciplinary, naye n'osanga nga waliwo legal interpretation gye tulina okukola. Ani atuyamba? Oyo lawyer we tuba tulina ku region. Waliwo bw'osanga nga twagala okutaputa ebintu ebikwatagana ne land, amataka, enkaayana ku mataka. Ndoza mubadde muwulira nti eno enkaayana, bino ebintu biri civil. Mutera okuwulira ekigambo ng'omuntu agamba civil, wano criminal, nti byali badde bigenda mu kooti eya civil. Simanyi bwe nsobola giyita mu Luganda. So ani atuwa usual okulabula okwo? Ye lawyer waffe oyo. Waliwo bwe tuba ne court orders. Court order eyo nga yeetaaga omuntu agenda okuyamba okuginterpretinga, mumanye engeri gye mugenda okugikwasisaamu, era aba lawyer. Naye kano akakiiko oba unit IGP kataddemu streamlining, akoko kyakoze abadde agezaako okulaba nti abantu bafuna obuweereza naye nga babufuna nga tebatataaganyizibwa. Obadde ogenda n'osanga nga fayiro eri Kibuli, bw'omala okuva Kibuli court order n'ogigoberera ku police headquarters nga ojja mu directorate ya legal affairs. Then bw'omala n'ogenda ewa RPC oba wa director legal affairs n'akukiliyaringa nti eno court order njikiriza. So mubaddemu okwetoloola kungi, naye kati ebintu byonna bigenda kuba biri wansi w'emikono ya commissioner of police Kusemererwa James, lawyer, ye commandant wa unit, era yajja okuba ne unit ye nga ebintu bino byonna babikola nga beemaliridde. Yes. Yes, please.
You respond about stopping no function as police for you don't agree with it. Today, this house is launching election roadmap. I don't know, usually when you're stopping such an event, you quote a law, you give reason, maybe the public complain, maybe they will disrupt traffic. What were the grounds for
Let them, I think we are not going to have an open discussion over that matter. They know where our offices are. They can always come over and we have a discussion over it. That's all. Issue eri bweti eya Edmutwe nga bwe mbagambye nti nsobola kuwa information gye nnina. Okitegedde? Siina information about Edmutwe, so sisobola giwa. That's all. Because, okay, I tell you that where is he? I have not been briefed. Bwe nzija wano okubawa briefs, bawa briefs ze baba bapaddeko information. And I've always told you, an educated man, no information, no right to speak. Mao Tse-tung. Yes. When I have no information, I will not speak. I will not comment. Period. Yes. Thank you. Kale, mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala. Oyo atawaanya. Naye tuwangaala wamu naye. Kale.
Keyo. Yes. Welcome back. It has been a while since we had such an interaction. It's great to have it once more. I'll start with what happened the night of yesterday. Our police at Katwe received information of a fire outbreak that took place in Indeba, specifically Kasumba zone. The fire gutted stores that were used to keep timber. These are timber selling stores, and you all know how that part of Undeba is very famous in selling timber. The information was received at around 10:30 p.m. and we were working on responding to the scene. A couple of our vehicles responded and started fighting the fire. And of course, given that the place has no nearby fire hydrants, we were forced to make some pauses, collect more water, like that. But I can comfortably inform you that at around 8 a.m. in the morning, the fire was fully extinguished, which wasn't something that came easily. Currently, there is suspicion that the fire was caused by an electrical short circuit, and it started spreading very fast. You know, timber and fire is not a very good combination. We managed to stop it from spreading to other areas. We contained it in that particular place that was affected. And I can say, if many of you know Ndeba, the behind part, a very long stretch has all gone down, making traders lose millions of shillings. We are yet to ascertain the affected persons. Many of them got to know in the morning. Some of them got to know at night and came and tried to save their timber. Others who got to know in the morning and their timber wasn't saved, of course, turned to work on a very bad site. And some even fainted. Ambulances were rushing many people to hospitals this morning. So all I can say, no one has been affected physically by the fire. We did not lose any life, and we have not registered any injuries. Of course, this is something that has always happened, and we will always inform the planners of the city to always come out with remedies. Fire hydrants are very important, and in this case, there are very few or not even seen. So it is very important for them to be available. It makes it easier for the police to equip itself with water and fight these fires. No matter how many fire brigades you have, but if the pouring of the water is not constant, if it stops even a little bit, the fire will even go back to where you have just extinguished. So the supply of water needs to be very constant, and that is something that needs to change in the area because it has a history of catching fires. Then also the widening of the roads that lead to the stores. You find that some traders leave their vehicles packed with goods in the middle of the roads that lead to the stores. So it even becomes hard for these fire tenders to gain access to the affected areas. So we need to leave the roads free at night so that it can be easier for the fire tenders to reach the affected areas. yesterday we informed you of an attempted robbery, that aggravated robbery that was foiled by our police at Wakiso. Currently, there is not much information apart from what we know is that this incident was premeditated. We received information last evening. We are yet to gain statements from those that gave us this information that the deceased Okao Emmanuel was among the security guards that had attempted to rob this bank, DTB Bank, located in Corner East Village, Kavumba Parish in Wakiso, had informed his wife and children to depart from their current areas of residence in Wakiso and go back to the village. He had informed them that he's planning to run away to Congo or any neighboring country, and it was a shock. No sooner had the woman arrived in the village than she got the news that the wife had been killed in a robbery, an attempted robbery. So this is something that was premeditated. We managed to interact further with the security of GKO that was tasked with guarding these premises. And one suspect we have in our custody, Okero Justin, is still with us and being interrogated further. Of course, they give their excuse that they have not been paid for 3 months. But of course, this does not prompt you to go on and rob where you're protecting. You can only use the available avenues in complaining. We have the PSO office here at police headquarters where you can complain, and such matter is handled formally rather than going into robbing a premise where you're supposed to be protecting. So the guns that we recovered all had 5 rounds of ammunition and have been exhibited. Our officers didn't want to reach an extent where they were supposed to fire, but the officers at the scene, they informed us that one of the suspects, upon the suspects knowing that they had, the police was approaching, they decided to hide in the ceiling. And when they were forced and informed continuously to disembark the ceiling, they had one of the suspects cocking their gun, and they also didn't wait for the suspect to shoot. They had to shoot first. So this is the person that died. So investigations are ongoing, and a review of such deployments and looking into the welfare of these security guards will also be looked into, because we know if the welfare is bad for any person that is armed, it will lead to such cases of indiscipline and criminal activities. Our police at Chira Road conducted an operation on the 27th. This is our police at Chira Division, not Chira Road, conducted an operation on the 27th. It was conducted in Buwate Zone, Chira Ward, in Chira Division, at a ghetto called Kabao. There is a bar called Unique Bar, and we had continuously received several complaints from members of the public that this bar houses criminals. It is used as a center stage for criminals who, after robbing, come and share their loot at the bar and spend the money they have looted. You all aware that a month back, Namugongo area was a crime spot where a lot of individuals would be attacked, and we lost 2 lives. And these are part of the criminals that we got information about. And we raided the bar, arrested around 170 suspects. Now, this same bar was like a world of its own. It had they had their on management, we understand from the intelligence we have that they were organizing Chimansulo. You know what it's called Chimansulo in Uganda. Explicit kind of shows where people dance naked and do all sorts of things. They were also operating brothels. That's the information we got, and we received evidence on that, which is something that is illegal. So the owner of the premise, one Obed, was also arrested, and we also managed to recover suspected narcotic items, marijuana, and other items that are yet to be tested to identify their nature. We suspect it is opium and cocaine. So these operations are still ongoing. We want to thank the members of the public for coming out to speak. Usually people always fear to speak on such incidents, but we thank them for coming out to speak, and also thank the police that responded when members of the public complained against this. Of course, in the wake of this, we are hopeful that it will reduce on the crime within the area, and we are hopeful that the suspects arrested after screening will be arraigned in courts and given the deserved punishments by courts of law. In Uganda, olunaku olwajjo twafunye nga poliisi amawulire ag'omuliro agakutte. Mwenna mumanyi ndeeba awo sayidi eyo emanyikiddwa okubeerako ebibanda by'embaawo. Naddala sayidi eno ey'Akasumba awabadde ebibanda by'embaawo, omuliro gwakutte ne gwokya layini nnamba ey'embaawo. Eky'omukisa omulungi tegwasobodde kusala kukwata bibanda biri busala kkubo. Poliisi yasobodde okugukuumira awo, era njagala obategeeza nti guzikidde ku makya ssaawa nga 2. Omuliro guno gwabadde gw'amaanyi nnyo, era nga twakoze kyonna ekisoboka n'emmotoka eziriwo okulaba nti nno tuguzikiza. Obuzibu bwokka bwe twasanze bwe bw'okuba nti amazzi, nga bw'omanyi nti amazzi gaggyibwa mu fire hydrants. Fire hydrants bye byuma ebiteekebwawo kangeze nga National Water abalina obuvunaanyizibwa okuyambako abataasa naddala mu mbeera ey'omuliro okufuna amazzi mu bwangu nga bagezaako okuba nti no bazikiza omuliro. Ebyuma bino awo mu Ndeeba tebiriiwo, era tuba tulina nnoonya binoonye ne tusobola okuba nti nno tufuna amazzi gano mu bwangu okuba nti no tuzikiza omuliro. Naye engeri gye kiri nti bibeerawo kowala, so olina okufuna nga bw'odda awali omuliro. So abantu bafiiriddwa emaali yaabwe naddala mu bungi, abantu bafiiriddwa ssente mu bungi, era abamu abasobodde okutaasaako ebyabwe be abasobodde okugendayo ekiro. Ni waliwo abo abaayebase nnyo nga tewali abakubiddeko na ku ssimu nti oba omuliro gukutte, abazze okuba nti nno bajja okukola ku makya. Amaaso bagasudde ku maali yaabwe yayonoonese, era bangi ku bo babadde babaddusa mu malwaliro olw'ekiyongobero kye babaddemu. So okunoonyereza ko kutandise okumanya omuliro guno gwavudde ku ki, naye nga waliwo okuteebereza kw'amaanyi nti nno guyinza obba gwavudde ku masannyalaze. Twagala obbategeeza tetujja koowa kwogerezeganya n'abapulaninga bibuga okulaba nti nno bateekateeka naddala abantu be bakolera okututeerawo ebyuma ebyo bwe tuyinza okujja amazzi mu bwangu n'okugaziya ku makubo. Ekirala ekizibu kye ekyokuba nti no baddereeva abamu emaali yaabwe bagisuza ku mamotoka gano ate ne bagireka mu makubo. So abasirikale bano ebiseera ebisinga okufuna emiwaatwa bye bayinza ogiyita amangu, kibazibuwalira mpaka ng'oli ali mu mmotoka walina ekisumuluzo azze n'agiggyawo esobola okutuuka wa wegguli. N'abantu ba bulijjo tubasaba nabo okuteekamuko ku maanyi. Bano aboperatinga zi mashini, aboperatinga ebyuma eby'amaanyi, musobola okubeera n'obuuma buno obuzikiza omuliro bayita bu fire extinguisher. Bw'oba olaba omuliro nti gwakatandika osobola okuguzikiza amangu, naye bwe gugwa mu mpumbu eyo nga bwe tugimanyi omuliro gutambula mangu mu mpumbu n'embaawo ezikaze, guyinza okubeera omuzibu. Awo poliisi weyinza okujja nesobola okuba nga eguzikiza. Naye bw'oba waakagulaba ng'olina akuuma ako osobola okubaako ky'otaasa. So twagala okubategeeza nti tugenda kweyongera mu kunoonyereza n'okuengaginga naddala directorate yaffe eya Fire Prevention and Rescue Service okwogerezeganya n'abakulembeze mu kitundu ekyo okulaba nti bateekawo emitendera okumalawo embeera eno, kuba kumpi buli mwaka tufuna omuliro mu bibanda by'embaawo ebyetoolodde Kampala ebiba bikutte omuliro. Wetaba Nsambya ebeera Bwayiise, wetaba Bwayiise Ndeeba, wetaba Ndeeba, awantu awalala wonna. So tulaba nti nno kintu kyakusoomooza era tulina okinogera eddagala mu bwangu kuba abantu beeyongedde okuba nti bafiirwa emaali. Ate abantu baawo teri n'omu alina insurance era w'emaali weba egenze aba alina kudda ku zero, ekintu ekibi. Mu kunoonyereza kwe tuli mu kukola ku mbeera eyabaddewo olunaku olwajjo, twabategeezezza nga bwe twatandise okunoonyereza ku bulumbaganyi obwakoleddwa ku bbanka ya DTB, era obulumbaganyi buno bwabadde ku ssaawa 7 ez'okumakya ng'abazigu ate be twazudde ate be babadde balina okubeera abakuumi b'ekifo ekyo baalumbye okuba nti no babba bbanka eno ne bagiyingira munda. Poliisi olwabitegeddeko negenda okujja ate ne bayingira siiringi. Oba oli awo bandirettaddewo embeera nti no babadde bamonitaringa, naye abasirikale batutegeeza nti nno baakookinze amamundu gaabwe. Abasirikale abadde bazze nabo kwe kuzzaayo amasasi, era gasse omu ku bakuumi yategeerekese nti ye Okawu Emmanuel alina emyaka 27 era esobola okukwata munne eyavuddeyo n'awanika Okero Justin. Kumubuuza kajojijoji w'ebibuuzo lwaki yenyigidde mu kikolwa kino, atutegeeza nti kampani gy'akolera GKO maze akabanga nga tebasasula era bo babadde baagala kwesasula mu ngeri y'okuba nti no bayingira mu bbanka eno ne bagibba. Tetulaba nti kikolwa kikyamu ekyokuba nti no benyigidde mu bubbi, ate ne mu kampuni eno yennyini kikolwa kikyamu okuba nti no tebakola ki, tebasasula bakozi. So tukubiriza bannannyini makampuni gano okufaayo eri welfare oba endabirira y'abasirikale baabwe naddala mu by'emisaala. N'abasirikale nabo ne tubategeeza nti muyina eddembe okwekubira enduulu. Kampuni si yeemala byonna. Kampuni zino zonna ziri ku supervision ya IGP, era bw'ovaayo ne weekubirira enduulu wano ku police headquarter mu ofiisi ya PSF, tusobola okuba nti no tulondoola ensonga eno. Bakama bamwe ne tubateeka ku nningo okuba nti no basasula. Tulaba nti no tebalina busobozi bwonna busasula ssente zino. IGP alina eddembe okusazaamu layisensi ya kampuni eno olw'okuba ebisaanyizo byayo tesobodde bituukiriza. So n'ekirala kye twazudde nti kino ekikolwa kyabadde kitegeke bulungi, nti Okaawo okusinziira ku mukyala we ne bamuliraana bategeeza nti Okaawo yabadde ategeezezza famire ye okuvaayo Wakiso we babadde babeera kupakiramu byonna ebyabwe ebikozesebwa bagende ku bbaasi badde mu kyalo, nga yabategeeza nti no yagenda kufulumamu eggwanga agenda akole. Era ndowooza ekiyabadde ategese bw'aba afunye omunyago gwe asooka addukemuko mu ggwanga ekitaasobose. Era abadde abategeeza ayinza okuddukira Congo oba ensi yonna eriraanye Uganda. So babadde tebamanyi nti yabadde agenda kubba, babadde bamanyi nti yabadde agenda kukola. Ekyomukisa omubi omunyago ku sayidi ekyomukisa omubi omunyago twagumusuuzizza, ekyomukisa omubi ate obulamu bwe twagendedde mu mbeera eno. So okunoonyereza ko kukyagenda mu maaso naye nga tuvumirira ebikolwa nga bino. Ennaku z'omwezi 27 era ku ssaawa nga 6 era twakola ekikwekweto mu poliisi yaffe ya Kira division yakola ekikwekweto ekyaviiramu okukwatibwa kw'abantu 170 7. Abantu bano 107 basangibwa mu bbaala emu esangibwa mu zooni y'e Buwaate mu ggeto gye bayita Kabaawo. Ggeto eno erimu ebbaala gye bayita unique. Ebbaala eno abatuuze ab'enjawulo bazze batuwa amawulire ku bbaala eno ng'era naffe bwe tutegeka butya bwe tuyinza okukola ebikwekweto. Kyaddaaki twamaze ne tukikola era ne tukwata abantu 17. Mu bbaala eno twazuddemu ebiragalalagala omuli marijuana n'ebiragalalagala ebigambibwa okuba nti bya buwunga bye tujja okwekebejja okukakasa. N'amawulire amalala ge twafuna nti bano ababeera mu bbaala eno y'abanyaguluzi, abantu abeenyigira mu bubbi. Era bwe bamala okufuna omunyaguluzi bwe baba baagala okugabana bayingira mu bbaala ezo ne bagabana, abamu ne banywa, era nga bakolawo mu bbaala eyo buloogi obw'enjawulo nga buli loogi ebeeramu omukyala awa saaviisi omugenyi yenna aba ayingidde. Ekyo tulowooza kikola kya bwamalaaya ate ekikolwa ekikyamu ekimenya amateeka mu ggwanga lyaffe Uganda. So bakasitoma be twasanzeemu nabo baakwatiddwa, n'abakozi be twasanzeemu nabo baakwatiddwa, ne nannyini bbaala naye yakwatiddwa. Kunoonyereza ko kukyagenda mu maaso naye twagala okwebaza abantu okuba nti basobodde otuwa amawulire gano nti ebbaala ebadde ekola n'ebikolwa eby'obuseegu omuli otegeka ebimansulo, okutegeka okuyimba n'okuzina ng'abantu bali bwereere. So tulaba ekintu ekyo nga kimenya amateeka era nga kisiiga empisa embi ezitakkirizibwa mu buwangwa bwaffe mu Bannayuganda. So kunoonyereza naddala ku nsonga eyo gye tulinako obujulizi ekyagenda mu maaso, era abantu ab'enjawulo bajja bba basimbibwa mu mbuga z'amateeka leero n'ekigendererwa ekyokuba nti bafuna ekibonerezo ekisaanidde. Naye ng'ebikwekweto bino bikyagenda mu maaso, tulina essuubi nti obumenyi bw'amateeka mu kitundu ekyo bujja bba bukkakkana kubanga bukakko wansi. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala, tusube bulungi.
Kande bamuleke. Mwanda. Okay. A very good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen of the press. My name is Vasari Wachigenyi Derek, the Deputy National Coordinator in the National Office for Countering Trafficking in Persons, Ministry of Internal Affairs. And from our office today, we would like to welcome you back to the presser, and yet again also update you on a few things that have been ongoing in the space of combating trafficking in persons. First of all, we realize that this week is the holiday week, and so we start off by cautioning all of us that our students are coming back home. Some have already returned home for holidays, and this is something that we always do to cause alert to the public, to you all, especially the parents and the guardians of these students. Because remember, most of the parents leave homes and head out to work,
leaving these children alone at home, and yet some of them have access to different gadgets through which their traffickers also access them. So it's a welcome note for our students back home for holidays, but at the same time, a caution to be more alert about this vice of trafficking in persons, and still to the parents to ensure that our students are safe and are well protected in the respective communities. Secondly, there has been a new routine that has developed over the few months, especially involving Somali nationals being trafficked with their destination to Libya. This routing emanates from Somalia, and some go through Kenya, whereas others go through South Sudan. But the main one is through Kenya to Uganda, through the eastern borders, right into the borders in the north, particularly the Legu one-stop border post, where we've had so many instances, and through that into South Sudan, into Sudan and Libya. So this also comes as an alert to all authorities in the respective borders. Once we come across the different nationalities with the intention or who have shown cause for transiting through our country, we need to ask a little more questions. We need to know a little more about their intended destinations. Otherwise, we will find ourselves instead steering them into being trafficked across borders. And in fact, some of them have been found in car boots, that especially the transporters, those driving trucks across, those persons that are engaged in private transport as a business are also playing a role in this, and we caution you. We call upon the different authorities to be aware in the respective places, Elegu border, Busia, Malaba borders, to also be up in arms about the same. To update us in the same space of trafficking in persons, an update from the DPP's Trafficking in Persons mobile application app. Since it was launched in 2023, quite a number of cases that have been uploaded cumulatively. So to this effect, we have seen a number of cases that have been handled from the respective office, rising up to 3,777. These cases, like I said, they are not cases for this 1 year, but these have been cumulatively accumulated. And also, the cases speaking to what has been done and what is ongoing. You realize that the largest percentage, this is where we want the attention mostly, the largest percentage being involving children, over 80% of these cases involving children. This is quite alarming. No wonder we are coming out to caution, to call upon you all about our students who are coming home. These are the same children who are being involved in these particular cases. And this we cannot do alone. We need you, we need the community, we need everyone on board to help us as we fight against this vice of trafficking in persons, especially where it comes to our children and the women. Now, from the same update, the most accused gender turns out to be the male. This means that mainly, it's over 77%. The men are largely the ones trafficking people, and especially trafficking the children. we will see one of the cases in particular where quite a number of these men got involved and trafficking was done on children, which we refer to as aggravated trafficking in persons. Also, to speak into the same, the most convicted or accused age group turned out to be between 18 to 29, followed by one between 30 to 49, and a bit of less of those under the age of 18. You can see most of the bar can show you that most of them were between the age of 18 to 29, and followed by, yes, the one between 30 to 49. This is quite alarming because this age group is mainly of the youth. So, still, we caution you, the youth, we call upon you to desist from this vice because we are coming after you and you will be punished for that matter. In the same vein, the good news is that most of these cases have had punishments to the level of imprisonment. As you can see, most of the cases, there are very few that have fines and imprisonment or fines only, but mostly all these cases end up into imprisonment. I think for us this is a good thing because we are up to ensuring that people do not get into this or have it in the easy way getting out of it. Considering the nature of trafficking in persons, it has been largely involved in sex trafficking, as you can see, as the largest. Sex trafficking. This also speaks into the involvement of young girls and women, especially, into this kind of trafficking in persons. And that is also followed by labor or trafficking for purposes of work, which is not as much as it is for sex trafficking. From the same, you realize that in these actions that perpetrators commit, the transporters, those who recruit, and the transporters, and those who harbor the victims are the highest. Why do we see this? It's basically because many a times the transporters play the same role of recruitment and also harboring. So this is also where you look at and realize that a transporter does three things in one. Usually they're the ones recruiting, they're the ones ensuring that this person gets to that destination, and also keeping that person in that destination for the required time until they are taken up by the other party. As you may see, the recruiters and transporters bar is highest, and those that do the harboring also. And when you come to the means here, you realize that our victims are largely trafficked by persons with authority. The bar shows you that abuse of power and authority and abuse of vulnerability has played a big role, followed by deception. Deception is where someone has to lie to you, defraud you, and probably lead you into a situation of being trafficked. And the last part here that talks about the purpose, I already mentioned, most of our people are trafficked for sexual exploitation, followed by forced labor and harmful child labor. Yes, the children are a lot more involved in harmful labor. For instance, they are involved in mining. They are also involved in other activities such as farming to a large extent. They are most exploited there in many parts of the country. The particular case in point here is of one Muhwezi Mustafa and 19 others This one in particular happened in Makindye 2, Kinyoro Base Zone, where the said Muhwezi Mustafa and 19 others were involved in aggravated trafficking in persons and trafficking of children. This happened way back in 2024, October, where Mustafa and his accomplices, 19 of them, these included Mwasa Rogers, Chizito Ivan, Nwamanya Gilbert, Muhanji Julius, Twimujuche Brian, Byakatonda Samuel, Tuliasingura Simon, Okite Daniel, Twinamasko Francis, Ainebiona Ambrose, Celestino Friday, Namanya Ivan, Nankunda Crispus, Ninyesiga Onesmus, Niwahereza Kada Edwin, Sali Abdul, Niwahereza Joseph, Wafla Cyrus, and Nankwasa Oscar. All these people were engaged and involved in this particular case. And to the good news to this effect, the said Mustafa Muhwezi was sentenced to 11 years imprisonment, and this gave us a very beautiful conclusion to the said matter. Thank you. Uganda.